Donald Trump enacted reciprocal tariffs, which, by the way, were not reciprocal tariffs. They were actually just the trade deficit with those countries in like one of the worst moves and one of the worst economic moves you can ever do as a president. So yeah, the tariffs are really working. I'm trying to find a good picture of like him holding the tariff sign. One second. I'm sure I can find one. Trump tariff. Many people are suspecting that it was written by AI because there are some cities on there that don't make any sense at all to be on there because there's no one that's living in those cities and islands. Here's a good image. Okay, smart guy. Let's see you take a crack at it. Oh Lord, oh Lord. And then, hold up, pausers. I'm trying to find. Here we go. Shortly after talking about all these tariffs.
I haven't seen you in a while. $5 million. For $5 million, this could be yours. That was the first of the cards. And then, you know what that card is? It's the gold, the Trump card, gold card.
Who's the first buyer?
Me.
Who's
I'm
the second?
first. I don't know, but I'm the first buyer. It'll be out in about less than 2 weeks.
Here we have someone like reverse engineered it essentially. 1 second. Sorry, I have so much on this topic because it's good. It's good. It's good that this is happening. I'm glad that this is happening. Good things are happening in this country. Where is the, oh man, I lost it. No, where did I put it? Darn it. I have a billion tabs open. Ah, here it is. This guy said, just figured out where these fake tariffs come from. They didn't actually calculate tariff rates plus non-tariff barriers as they said that they did. Instead, for every country, they just took our trade deficit with that country and divided it by the country's total exports to us. So we have a $17.9 billion trade deficit with Indonesia. Its exports to us are $28 billion. 17.9 billion over 28 billion equals 64%, which Trump claims is the tariff rate that Indonesia charges us. What extraordinary nonsense this is. And here we have Kush Desai, the White House deputy press secretary, saying, no, we literally calculated tariff and non-tariff barriers, and then places some text here that he didn't read and places a formula here that he also doesn't know, I guess, or understand. And it's so bad that he got, community noted. This person broke it down, said, here's the total exports, here are the total imports. That's the trade deficit. And then the price elasticity for import demand. And then elasticity of import prices with respect to tariffs. Hence, it's a formula that calculates the deficits over the imports. And then because Trump was feeling generous, they halved that tariff. And here he responds saying, no, you absolutely did not calculate them. Do you understand the formula in your screenshot? It's the deficits over imports times 0.5. As the document says, that's the formula you use to calculate the tariff rate you're charging every country. Are you seriously pretending otherwise? Dude, like Elon Musk is about to remove community notes. I feel it. I feel it, guys. I feel it. Yeah. And the White House press office is saying your tiny, feeble minds can't comprehend the math involved in the complex formula of 4 times 1/4. Oh, dude. And I'm going to be guessing that there is going to be a civil war because Nintendo just announced that because of tariffs, they're delaying the launch of the Switch 2. The original launch was, I think, June 18th, which is really upsetting for me because I haven't bought a Nintendo product ever in my life. I've borrowed other people's Nintendo products, but I've never had my own. And this was going to be the first time that I was going to own. Sorry, they're delaying pre-orders until they find out more about the tariffs. Pre-orders are delayed right now. Aw, thanks, Mofi. Anywho.
Denims
So,
is streaming.
I am streaming. Thank you, John Brown. Thank you for the 10 gifts. 15 gifts. Thank you. That's very generous of you. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Anyways, I was just really upset because this was going to be the first Nintendo product I bought in like ever. And now I don't even get to buy it because they're delaying the pre-orders. And even when they do eventually release it, it'll probably be $1 billion. So yay. Did you see that Trump thinks he put a tariff on fentanyl? By tariffing the value of this horrible and deadly drug in order to make it more costly to distribute and buy. The sale in our country large amounts of fentanyl. Yes. Excellent. Good. Yes. Yes. Okay. And then, don't worry, there's still more. There has been crazy cope There has been crazy. How do you feel about $80 games on the Switch? I mean, I'm only going to buy like 3 games, so that's fine. Do they even have more than 3? It's Fire Emblem, if one of those games ever comes out. Like what, the Mario Party and like kart game? And then whenever Pokemon comes out every 5 years or whatever. So that's all I need. Okay? Let's be real, guys. Come on. Animal Crossing? I never really got into Animal Crossing, I'm going to be honest. Anyways, yeah, conservatives have been on like the coping arc. They've been on the crazy, crazy, crazy coping arc. So let's see. Let's watch them go to Copenhagen.
And he's delivering. And you know what? I don't really care about my 401k today. You know what? Not that I can afford it, not that it isn't important, not that I'm not at a point in my life when I should be worried about my 401k, because I am. But this is what I believe. I believe in this man. And I believe that what we're seeing now with his bringing in $1 trillion in business and manufacturing and companies moving back to the United States, and he's delivering.
I'm sure Jesse Waters won't deep throat Donald Trump. Let's watch.
I, Greg, think it's an exciting time to be alive. We have rewired the entire world in a way we haven't seen in 100 years. And it's great. And hopefully it works out. I haven't looked at my 401k today. I'm going to look at it tomorrow. Actually, maybe not. I won't look at it for another month. But you just, as he said, have to remain calm. He ran. Greg.
So there's been that defense of, well, I just don't need to look at my 401k. If I don't look at it, we're good. If you don't test if you have an illness, you don't have it. You can just pretend you don't see it, and then you're good. The other defense has been that we actually don't need to import any of these things that we import. Overheard in the newsroom, I just got something from a vanilla company. I guess 70% of the world's supply comes from Madagascar. We're going to have months and months worth of stories out of this. Hard to even know where to begin. Madagascar is now facing a 47% tariffs. Vanilla is in vanilla ice cream, and what else? Yeah, it's just in vanilla ice cream. It's not used in anything else. And it's never been used in anything else. Ever, actually. Okay. Sure, why not? Okay. Chat, just for a frame of reference, and it's used in almost every single baked good. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the vanilla bean is from a flower. Flowers are famously hard to grow and annoying to take care of. I'm sure if you've ever tried to grow your own flowers, you got at some point pissed and gave up, because I know that I have. Because they're really annoying to grow and they're very temperamental, and it's kind of hard to just magically start scaling all of the vanilla beans that you would need. Make America flavorless again! Vanilla isn't so commonly used. We literally use it to mean basic. I mean, yeah. It's just like the basic flavor we put in most baked goods. Anyways, that's okay. That's fine. We don't need that anyways. It's cool. It's cool. But luckily, everybody else has just been coping about everything else as well. No, not my Heckerin consume products. I honestly feel like sometimes I'm insane when I read posts like this after an election that was almost entirely about the cost of things going up. The economy is the most important thing, and that's why I'm voting Donald Trump. And then as soon as Donald Trump makes things worse, the response is immediately, yeah, well, I don't need things, okay? I'm not greedy. Again, I feel like I have to bring up like the Red Scare propaganda about that Americans have been pushing for literally ages, talking about how in communist Russia, they have one bread and you must eat that bread. In communist China, they only have one cereal. You must eat that one cereal. It's the only one. And now when we're going to have to deal with this ourselves because we're deciding that everything is going to become more expensive, suddenly, we don't need all these goods, actually. Why do we need all this stuff? Oh, you want vanilla beans, and you want coffee beans, and you want all these things. We don't need all that stuff, okay? Actually, go fuck yourself. We need one bread, and we need coffee that is not actually coffee. It's caffeine. That's the color of brown. And that's it. We're good. Okay? And then there's this as well. How exactly am I supposed to buy American coffee? And here it shows, like, the regions where coffee is made, because, again, you need a particular temperature and climate. You need to have the coffee biome to grow coffee. You can't just grow it wherever the fuck you want to grow it. To which people respond saying, coffee isn't important. Okay. Hawaii also goes
Buddha
coffee.
heart, everybody. Some ordinary gamer. And I'll tell you what, he's very modest. He's no ordinary.
Stop. Why is that playing? Stop. That's what I get for not closing all the tabs. Like an idiot. Like a fool. Maybe AI can grow the coffee beans. Ah ha 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 ha. Ah ha ha ha. USA is making a hell of a lot of semiconductors. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Well, the problem with, like, again, I've since talked about this a billion times, but the problem with tariffs is you can't just place the tariffs and expect people to be able to build the facilities needed overnight. Like, factories don't get built overnight. Farms don't get built overnight. You can't have magically, I mean, how many kilos of coffee are consumed by Americans a year? Coffee consumption, America, year. I mean, honestly, I should just look up a day. In a day, how many coffee? Nearly 3 in 4 Americans drink coffee every day. 36% of people drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee a day. 50% of people purchase coffee from a coffee shop at least once a week. How long could it take for a coffee bean plant to grow, Michael? 2 days. And also, what materials are you using to make
the factories? They have to come from somewhere. Canadian steel? 25% tax on raw good.
There's also the reality that certain tariffs don't make sense. Like, for example, blanket tariff on Japan, right? Blanket was like 24% tariff on Japan. Do you think we're just going to start making our own Nintendo in America? Or we're just going to make Pokemon at home, I guess? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Ah! It's called Pal World. No, I don't like Pal World. I don't like that one. I don't like that they're making the weird sex game. I don't like that. This has been a really interesting defense as well. The S&P 500 is now only up 118% in the last 5 years instead of 135%. And everyone is on CNBC crying. Quote, stop looking at how the market is reacting to our new policies and instead focus on how well it's done under mostly Trump's Democratic predecessor is an incredible new talking point. I like that. That's good. Okay. Yes. Do we know how digital goods are affected yet? I don't think that they know how digital goods are affected yet. American Mario is just him with an AR-15 hunting Luigi for killing the CEO under the direction of President Bowser. Stop. Stop. Seattle Green, thank you for the 3 months. Up 107% now. Yay. Yay. That's good. This is how digital goods are being affected. Coltman comes entirely from outside the US and it's used in every basic electronic device we have. Well, I think when he was talking about digital goods, I think he meant like, or that one chatter meant like buying a game online on Steam or something, or like buying a Nintendo game, like a digital copy of something, I think is what they were talking about. Not like the things that we need for digital hardware, whatever the fuck. Anywho, this one's a good one.
Trump, we have Pokemon at home. Pokemon at home, Pell World dating sim.
The Wall Street account tweeted Mount Moron, and it's the squad, basically. Hey man, you're the Wall Street Nav account. How's Wall Street doing today? You've got posts about AOC and Bernie Sanders and somehow even Hunter Biden today, but you haven't mentioned Wall Street. Any update? Oh god, dude. And it's bad enough that even Ben Shapiro can't defend it.
Yesterday, President Trump declared that it was, in fact, Liberation Day, his giant tariff policy that he just dropped on the market unilaterally, probably unconstitutionally. Trump's reciprocal tariffs impose hundreds of billions of dollars in new taxes on Americans, be the largest tax increase since the Revenue Act of 1968. One of the biggest tax increases on American consumers in the history of America. And it's going to cost American consumers. It will cost American producers who use inputs from other countries. The Dow Jones Industrial Average plummeted immediately more than 1,000 points. The S&P 500 plummeted more than 3%. The NASDAQ plummeted almost 4.5%. There are real-world implications for this sort of stuff. Trade wars are, in fact, not good and not easy to win, particularly if you don't actually have a plan. It is predicated on a bad idea of how international trade works. A fundamental misunderstanding of trade deficits. Trade deficits they're an accounting procedure. Trade deficits have pretty much nothing to do with the health of an economy. I can name you a period in American history where there was a fairly large surplus in America's balance of trade. The entire Great Depression.
Do you know how bad it is when Ben Shapiro is attacking Trump? Like, I've said it since the beginning. Ben Shapiro has always been a grifter. The one thing he's never grifted on is Israel and like the ethno-state that is Israel. I think he's always been very excited about it and has always been pretty pro-Israel. I don't think he's grifting about those positions, but I'm pretty sure he's one of the biggest grifters when it comes to like the Republican Party. And he actually really despises the gaudiness of the current Republican Party, the MAGA party, really. And when it's so bad that he is actively criticizing it. I guess Trump did put tariffs on Israel. Yeah. Sale Cat, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thank you. Wasn't he a never Trumper? I wouldn't be surprised. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised. I mean, just like think about it, Chad. The type of guy to get on and say, wet ass P word. I mean, this just goes on and on. Do you really think that that guy is in support of Trump? Someone who famously is one of the gaudiest people you can ever fucking find. That the first lady, like, I don't give a fuck about it. I think it's cool. But that the first lady has like lewd photos of her. I mean, I think it's dope as shit. I think that's the coolest thing about the president. You think this type of guy, this guy would like that? Do you think he likes the Donald grabber by the pussy Trump? He doesn't like him fundamentally as a person. He believes that politicians should not behave the way that Donald Trump behaves, but he has no choice but to fall in line with the rest of the Republicans because Trump is in office and he has weirdly won over a lot of Americans. He's like a Mitt Romney type of guy, dude. But he has to speak positively about Trump. He has to. Because Republicans against Trump don't really have a coalition. They don't have a strong coalition. I always thought Trump would have been a drag queen under different circumstances. I mean, there's that video of like Rudy Giuliani dressed up as a woman and the two of them are like borderline making out. Like, you have to understand, Trump is a New Yorker first, okay? Fundamentally, New York businessmen don't actually care at all about any of like the culture war stuff. They care about how many people they can exploit. Okay? And it's always been that way. I can promise you, Trump doesn't give a fuck about gender. He doesn't give a fuck about sex. The only sex he cares about is the sex he's having. Okay? He doesn't give a fuck about being prudish or how women should act or how men should act. He doesn't give a fuck about race. He cares about whether or not he can exploit your labor. That's what he cares about. The video is like him motorboating Rudy Giuliani dressed up as a woman. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. And I've said this since day one. I've said that there's literally multiple times where he talks about trans people and he says, yeah, and we're going to make women's sports fair. And then the crowd fucking cheers like crazy. And he says, wow, that's crazy. You said that 5 years ago. Nobody cares. Suddenly now everybody cares. Wow. Never would have guessed it. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit about women's sports. Okay? He doesn't care. Oh my God. They could never convince me he's a Floridian. He's a New York psycho queen at heart. Have you seen the new music video from the channel that made its Jover? No. Maybe we'll sign off on it if it's banging. Okay, and then you have to understand, guys, legally as like a New Yorker, you're required to see at least one opera, one play, and one like theater show. And that immediately makes you more open to like half of like leftist expression. And you're like, actually, I don't care about any of this stuff. Okay, back to work. It's called Thank You, Ethan Klein. You're featured in it. Wait, if I actually, maybe we'll watch it. 1 second. I'll pull it up. Save. Oh my God, dude. Bernie is popping the fuck off. Dude, whoever's like the media manager for Bernie, dude, he's posting videos, 20 hours, million views. Holy shit. We'll watch this tomorrow as well. Wait. Okay. All right, before we get any further. Oh my God, we have so much content for tomorrow. So much making fun of Ethan Klein. Yes. I love making fun of Ethan Klein. He's so fun to make fun of. Okay. Sorry, let me finish up this conversation really quickly. We're going to watch this tomorrow. You guys have been looking at my playlists. Don't look at them. Stop. Don't look at my playlists. Ew. All right. Let me close this. Hold up. I really want this shirt. I really want it. I really want this shirt. Oh my God. Make America great again. And it's all red. Beautiful. Beautiful. Excellent. One thing I will say is at least there are some conservatives that aren't cowardly enough to delete their tweets of them saying Trump would never do something as stupid as put blanket tariffs on every country. Like this guy. No one other than fairly stupid partisans on the left think Trump is truly going to implement 20% tariffs on everything across the board. I won't delete this because I'm a man of honor, but yes, I was wrong about the tariffs in November. He has indeed put blanket tariffs on every country. And now we're seeing the same thing, by the way, with like the third term presidency. Asman put out a video. Trump is 100% serious about running for a third term. And the fucking 4chan green text. Haha, I told you he's going to become a dictator. Based, haha, content president. Remember when we all rang the alarm bells on that and we said, hey, what do you mean he's just joking and he's just trolling? And they're like, he would never do that, okay? And now he's like talking about it and saying that there are ways to do that. And everyone's like, what? What are you saying? What? No, he wouldn't. No. That's not. He wouldn't do that. No, he wouldn't. I don't speak English, actually. I'm sorry. I don't actually understand what you're saying. Dude. It's okay, dude. It's good. It's good. Good country, good things happening in the country. Happy Liberation Day, everybody. Are you tired of winning? Guys, are you tired of winning yet? Are you? Are you? TikTok still gets another 75 days. We haven't lost all our treats just yet. Sure. Yeah, sure. And there was one other thing. I would never let you guys leave on such a terrible note, okay? I would never do that. There's great news. Guys, a new character in Marvel Rivals. Oh! Sorry, audio's not working.
That dear. Mind crush. You were beneath me. Impervious. Pathetic. How embarrassing. Neo! That's White Queen mind control.
What do you mean by that? Let me just say, first of all, this is the first time I've seen like a shooter give thigh physics.
The White Queen's reign.
I've never seen thigh jiggle physics in a game.
Queen's reign begins.
So first of all, second, to all the people complaining, okay, that they're like, oh, that's not what she didn't have giant thighs. Okay, this is not accurate to the comics. She was thin in the comics. She's a fucking tank, you idiot. First of all, pathetic, okay? Why are you complaining? Fucking loser. Second, okay, she's a tank. You can't give a tiny model to a fucking tank. Doesn't make any sense. You have to give her a big model because she's gonna be a fucking tank. You can't give someone 5 bajillion HP and then make their model super, super teeny tiny. All right? Complaining about thick thighs and then complaining about... Stop. Say the third reason. The third reason is you're dumb and stupid for not liking it, all right? All right. SK's reaction was hilarious. Wait, I didn't see it. Down bad for Emma Frost.
Sweet mama. Sorry. Goodness gracious. Wow. Holy cow. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's Chun-Li, a joke to you. Stop.
Cheese and crackers.
I didn't know SK said slurs. What the fuck?
Oh, my goodness.
That's messed up.
That's a lot. That's a lot of Emma Frost. She's really beautiful. Wow. I wonder what power she has. I'm very excited to play her, to see her powers.
Dude, I wanna VTube model like this one.
I bet her abilities are gonna be awesome.
God. Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. Set the record straight. Rating Mr. Zach happening a while ago, like months. I don't know what this is about, Mimsy. I don't know what this is. Anyways, I don't know what this is. Copy. Hold up. We have one more thing that I need to show you guys. I don't know what this clip is. I'm scared. I'll look at this later, chat. I'm scared. All right. Last thing.